Good morning, everyone. Jonathan J. Reinhardt here from War Gaming Recon. Today is Friday, what is it? May 15th. I should have known that. May 15th, 2020. And this is the pandemic coffee break. That's right, everyone. We're here for another pandemic coffee break. I am lucky enough to work from home during this crazy pandemic. And just like when I am at work, I'm taking a coffee break. So today I'm mixing it up. I have a honeydew. It's supposed to be something, but they made a frozen who's what's a thing for me. It's good though. It has like real coffee in it instead of decaf, so that's kind of a change for me. And lots of cream and chocolate sauce and all sorts of stuff to make me extra happy. And whipped cream and everything, things that I don't normally have. Because I don't normally do whipped cream for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't. So it's my tasty beverage. I hope you have your tasty beverage with you. And if you're watching live, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook, drop a comment. Let us know that you're here right now. And we love seeing people who are here live. And if you're not watching live, that's okay. You can still leave a comment and we'll get back to it later on. And we're going to do a little bit of that later on in today's show. So let's begin with some big news because I know that big news is something that some of you get. I like to tweak you a little bit, I guess, because you're always like, oh man, I missed it. And don't put the big news at the beginning of the show because then I don't know what it is by the time I come in. And this is my way to try to get you in here. So why don't we just play a prank on everyone who's not in here yet? And let's all pretend, okay, let's all collectively agree that I announced something huge. And what should the big news be? The big news will be that I won $500 million. So let's pretend I won $500 million and be all excited so that anyone who joins in after now doesn't know what the big news is. And we'll just keep on referring to it and be like, oh my goodness, it's such big news. And then it'll just be kind of a funny prank for a Friday. So let's go to the chat first. So we got Dave saying good morning. Morning, Dave. Thank you for joining us. And Court is joining us on YouTube. Thank you for watching us on YouTube, Court. So happy you can make it. Dale wants to know, what is a honeydew? So honeydew is a coffee shop. It's a chain of coffee shops here in North America. They might only be in the United States, actually, now that I think about it. And they're competitive. So here in the United States, we tend to have some main coffee shops. So some of them are regional, but generally nationwide, or some of the bigger ones are. Everyone knows about the Starbucks, right? There's Dunkin' Donuts, now just known as Dunkin', which I think is silly. Uh, there's Krispy Kreme, which is popular down through the South, but not so much for the coffee. Um, and then you have Honeydew, and then up here in New England-ish, you also have Mary Lou's, which I adore. I love Mary Lou's coffee, and just for all their stuff. And then there's other ones here and there. There's little tiny places all over. But Honeydew is a chain of coffee shops, and they do have like donuts and stuff, like Dunkin' Donuts does. They're not as artisan as a Starbucks or anything like that. They're more of like a blue collar kind of place. And they are they make other kind of things. So they do a lot of like frozen things, beverages that you could get that maybe have like ice cream in them or smoothies or things like that. And when I say smoothie, I don't mean like a fruit smoothie. They're definitely like a coffee kind of smoothie or like a blended lemonade or things like that that you can get. And they're known for putting mocha in all sorts of stuff. And actually, do you know, why don't we just pull up a Honeydew website? Because this is what you can do now with our new setup here. Honeydew Donuts. So let's take a peek. These might only be... Oh, and according to Wikipedia, they are a Massachusetts-based franchise. So let's just hop on over to their website, and I wasn't intended to show this, but hey, why not? This is one of the nice things about going live. And when things pop up here with people, we can see everything. So no, you don't get to know my location. That's not my location here. So I guess they are a Massachusetts only thing, but here are locations that they have. And we're gonna see, look at all this. There's more than that. let's go to a map. And they won't let me zoom out. They're all over the place around here. You would think they'd show more locations. Here we go, our locations. No, and I guess not. Anyway, they're a coffee shop, is the long and short of it. And I guess they haven't made it to New York for you, Deal, but they are very enjoyable and one of our favorites. Thankfully, we have two, I think, near us, but one of them doesn't do blended drinks or anything. It's just basically coffee and pastries and stuff like that. Dave says, Honeydew is the best. Wish I had one closer. Better. Thank Dunks. And Mike is joining us. Good morning, Mike. So I'm sure other than that aside, everyone's really excited about the big news here and just really excited about that big news. And I mean, I can't believe it. It's going to change everything, really. And I can't stop drinking this thing. But this is just like a day for big news. And as we get ready for more cool stuff that's happening tomorrow with the convention. And actually, I know there's been a little confusion about the convention and how it works and what you do. So I actually want to, once again, just go through the process of signing up for games. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of a screen share here, and I'm going to walk you through the whole process of what you do for this. So let's head on over to letsrollcon.com. And if you want to follow along, this is what you would do. So you're going to go to letsrollcon.com. You see this big banner. You're going to scroll down and click on My Account. Now, let me log out first. You will not have that happen. So it's for you, it's going to say login/register. And you're going to click on that. Now, if you have not registered, if you've not created your account, you need to fill this out and create your account. If you've already created your account, which is free, you're going to click on login. So you're going to log in with your credentials. And then you're going to get this pop-up here. So let me know if I'm going too fast or anything. So please just drop a comment in here. So once you get to this spot, this is your account. When you want to register for games and really do it today, because I cannot promise that you can do it tomorrow. Most game masters want it all set up so that they are known today who is signed up. They don't want to really take late signups. Some will, but I don't know who will and who will not. So sign up today. Do not wait. So once you get to this spot, you click on Game Room 2. I do not know why it's called Game Room 2, but that's what it is. So you see this page, and it gives you some information about registration. So it says you have to purchase a ticket. Tickets are free, and this allows you to reserve your slot to play in a game. There's a minimum number of plays for some games, and some games are going to be streamed or recorded. So let's scroll down, and as a reminder, it says tickets are available at the bottom of the page. Keep scrolling. So now we come down to the time slots. It begins at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the start of the first game that you can play in tomorrow, Saturday, May 16, 2020. And then it'll list them all. It'll tell you the name of the game, the game's number, which doesn't really matter for you, but the name of the game, a brief description of what the game is, any skills or settings, rules, age ranges, how the game is going to be run, where will it be. So in the case of this one, it's going to be on Roll20, and people will talk on Discord. So you will need to have free accounts in each of those to actually play the game. It tells you how long the game will take, about 3 to 4 hours, who's running the game, and any other descriptors. So things that might be helpful to you. So for example, in this one, Rob Rubenhurst is going to contact you before the game to make sure you're all set up. And then all the material will be on Roll20. You do not need to go elsewhere for any other material, except for, it says you will need to print QRS and unit sheets, and they ask you to log in 5 minutes before game time. This varies for each game, but look through And this is no different than when you go to a convention and sign up for a game. So if you want to sign up for a game at Havoc or Huzzah, if you want to sign up for anything at, I don't know, the Makersphere Game Day or the Hobby Bunker Game Day or at TotalCon or Council of Five Nations, uh, you name it, Origins, Carnage, any game that you've ever signed up for at any convention or event has been basically done this way. So this is really no different from that. So just go through, see which games you want to play, and you might come across something like this for Caesar at 10 a.m. You might see that it says sold out, which means all the spots have been taken. You might see that in this case that there's another game of it. Caesar will be run in game 26. That's later on in the day. You might see, for example, not enough people signed up for Zombicide, which makes me really sad because this is a great game. So this has been canceled. Now, if you had hoped to play in Zombicide, I'm sorry. But if you had signed up, I'm not trying to blame people, but if you had signed up beforehand, you could have got in and maybe it wouldn't have been canceled. No blame there. It's a learning experience for all of us. Or you might see someone that says there's only 2 seats left. Don't wait. Sign up. But go through and look at all the things that you want to consider and go through all the time slots. Look, Mars is a Lie at noon, sold out. Lost Sisters, sold out. There's still plenty of games to play. You can play Axis and Allies, miniatures right here. Dan Eustace, who's the GM, is a great GM. You'll have a lot of fun with this. Only 3 seats left for Johnny Quest and the Eye of Makara. This is using that top secret New World Order. That's a spy role-playing game. Peter Bryan's running it. He's amazing. But go through and just look at all of these things. Scroll, 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 scroll. And at the very bottom, you're going to see here what you can sign up for. So once you get to this point, presumably you know what games you want to sign up for. These tickets, and again, they're free. The games are listed here. The ones at the top are the latest time slots in the day. So this Caesar Skirmish 1 Game 26 is, if I scroll up, it got moved, actually. So that's probably a bad example. But it got moved to an earlier time slot, to the 2 o'clock one. Generally speaking, though, these are latest. So this is like the Black Seas one is end of the day. Cube of Death is end of the day. This is 8 o'clock. So you find the one you want, but if you're not sure, click on the blue eye, and it gives you a little descriptor again. And you say, oh, wait, I want to do Caesar Skirmish. Over on the right, under quantity, there's this little drop down. You click on it. And then you click on the ticket. How many tickets you need? You probably only need 1. So if one more person can get into this Caesar Skirmish game, you click on it, and then you go through and you say, oh, wait, earlier in the day, I want to do the 2 o'clock Cube of Death. You take a ticket. You do this for all the games you want to play. You want to play Road to Kamuta. You grab a ticket. Pick all the games you want. And after you've done that, you click on Next. And then it'll bring you here where you have to enter a name, first name, last name. And you have to do it for each game. And then you put in your information here. Your first name, your last name, your email address. You confirm your email address. You do not need to put a phone number in. And then you have to say that you accept the terms of service. And then you click on Next. And you work your way through. And it will not charge you anything. This is 100% free. I can't stress that enough. So I know this process is a little different than when you sign up for games at, say, TotalCon or at Huzzah or Havoc or Enfilade or like any of that. This is our first time doing it, so this is a little different. But otherwise, super easy. And once you have gone through this process, you'll get an email listing all the things that you've signed up for. Does anyone want me to go over any of this again? If not, I'm going to move on to some other cool stuff that we'll talk about. Nope, it looks like we're good. Okay. Awesome. So let's check in the chat again. Court says, are they in gas station? Oh, you're talking about Honeydew. So Honeydew, some are in gas stations, some are standalone. They're all over the place. There was one court which you would know, but you may not have known it was there, when Battleground Games was in Plainville. Up past, so if you came from the direction of Foxborough Stadium and you went up to Battleground Games, if you drove past Battleground Games, a little bit further up on the right, there was a Honeydew, which you may not have known about, but it was there. And let's see. Mike says it's not going to change a thing. I don't know what's not going to change a thing, but maybe it won't. Philip, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us from across the pond. I hope you'll be able to play in some games tomorrow at Let's Roll Convention. Angela says it will be a good time. Angela, I know you're super busy, but I hope you can come. I'm playing in the 8 p.m. Cube of Death. So if you're free tomorrow at 8 p.m., sign up for the Cube of Death and we can play together. It'll be so cool. And Court says, makes sense now. Awesome. So good. And Mike wants me to move on. Awesome. That's what we will do. So I'm glad we've done that. I will stop beating the Let's Roll horse to death now. I do want to tell you, though, tomorrow, a whole slate of events that I'm going to be doing. 10:30 a.m., I'm doing another pandemic coffee break, so tune in for that. And then I have events at 11, at noon, at 2, at 3 o'clock, 8 or 9, doing a live podcast recording. And then I have another one at 4 and at 5. I think that's it. And then I put the kids to bed, which covers me 6 to 7. And then I squeeze in dinner, I think, at 7:30. Am I going to get lunch tomorrow? I might get lunch. We'll see. And then at 8, I'm playing in Cube of Death. It's going to be crazy. And I know this is not even how crazy it is for people who run conventions, like at a physical space. But this is nuts. Wow. Oh, and Philip, this is great news. Happy birthday to your dad. Happy 92nd birthday tomorrow. I would sing happy birthday, but I don't want a copyright strike against me. So just pretend I'm singing happy birthday because I'm doing it in my head for him. That is exciting. 92 years. Way to go. My goodness. Wow. That is just awesome. And way to go for being physically distant to keep everyone safe and cutting his lawns. That's a wonderful thing to do. Hooray. That's awesome. I will be thinking of him tomorrow. And I will try to do a shout out to him tomorrow too for his 92nd birthday. That's awesome. And Cortland says, I may be in the events all day. Yeah, we got a ton of events, which I'll talk about in tomorrow's pandemic coffee break as I queue up all that for people. And I'm not hosting all the events. Petra Bender, who's the wife of Jorg Bender, who's the owner of Things for the Basement, is also hosting a bunch of events. So we just kind of split them up, but it's really cool. Let's dive into, if you'll excuse me, let's dive into, I talked about feedback for people who don't always get to see this live. So let's dive into some feedback that we had. So you can see here, we've got Philip here from the Pandemic Coffee Break on May 8th. I have a gap. I got to upload stuff. I'm sorry about that, everyone. It says, I feel sick. You drink coffee like that? Black and strong only. No. You can't see because I'm screen sharing, but you need all the cream and sugar and chocolate that you can get. And then Jamie, from the Pandemic Coffee Break on the 12th, when I was talking about Ironclad Miniatures, sorry. Take a minute. There's a lot of iron whatever names in gaming. Isn't that crazy? He says, I've ordered some of the 15mm bocage. There'll be photos on he means the Wargaming Recon fan club podcast Facebook group or whatever we called it as soon as they arrive. So that's really exciting. So you can always leave a comment on YouTube. We get to it later, or on Facebook. I see them and we do get to them eventually as well. I don't want you to think that if you interact with us that we ignore you. Just it takes us a little while to do that. Now, let's pivot to some other good news. And I'm going to screen share yet again. I love this whole screen sharing thing. I don't know if I screen share too often, in which case I do apologize. But I really, 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 really enjoy the screen sharing. So I am super excited. My new laptop is shipped. It's on its way. Should arrive next Wednesday. Yay. So I am getting the brand new 13-inch MacBook Pro. And you may have heard some stuff online. I don't know how much any of you follow this, but how it's not that great and whatever. But the one I'm getting is the higher end one. So it has more ports, which means I can plug in more stuff to it. It has a faster brain, faster processor. It has more internal space. It has a more powerful graphics card, and it has more RAM, more memory. So all this means that it can do stuff faster. It can do stuff quicker, which is faster. It does it more efficiently, and it is more powerful. So that means editing for audio, editing for our videos will be done much better. It means that it won't take me as long to boot up and get into programs to get things going. Right now, I chug along sometimes. Right now, live stream is going to be a little live streaming will be so much better. So we'll be able to do all this stuff more efficiently, better, faster, quicker. I'll also be able to game again on my computer, which probably doesn't mean much to any of you, but it makes me really, really happy. So next Wednesday, hopefully it'll arrive and I'll be able to start getting things ready with it. And it's plug and play, so it'll work with all the stuff that I have right now, and we'll just be able to get going. And I'm super excited about it. And this is my 10th wedding anniversary present from my wife to me, and for her, she wanted the MacBook Air, which I had talked about previously on a pandemic coffee break. Whew. So that is an exciting bit of stuff to discuss as well. Court says, should I be on Facebook instead? So you can be wherever you like to be, Court. We stream both to YouTube, to our YouTube channel, and to Facebook. I would say most people happen to watch this from our Facebook page, but you can choose wherever you like. And we want to be wherever people are. And honestly, we got a lot of people who follow us on Facebook, but we are trying to grow our YouTube channel. So whatever makes people happy is good with us. And let's see, Nathan here says, I stream from my 10-year-old MacBook Pro, works like a champ. Yeah, I'm working on my mid 2012 MacBook Pro 13-inch, which I love, but it's old and it has issues. And Phyllis says, I have my new MacBook Pro for a couple of weeks, a vast improvement over my 2011 model. Well, yours was even older than mine. Yeah, and one of the neat things about the new MacBook Pro, and I'm not sure, so you must have got yours before they updated it, or you have the 16-inch model. I'm not sure which one it is, but the 16-inch model that came out this year, and also this new 13-inch one, has that brand new keyboard, because people complained about the keyboard before where you'd get like double letters sometimes when you typed, or it would skip letters, and there were some problems there with it. Let's dive into, I'm going to screen share again in a moment, but let's dive into something neat that I want to share with all of you. So I started building the Things from the Basement Leicester Farm Battles of Gettysburg Kickstarter kit, which I know is not out yet for any of you. Things from the Basement sent us a review copy, yeah, and I've been waiting on the weather to improve so I can actually start spray painting. And so I started working on it and follow the instructions. And so it's not going to look like much. So here's one of the walls. And you can see here, it doesn't look like I did much of anything, but I put together all the windows for this and some of the doors. And as I was assembling, I realized that it would be hard to do a couple things, because the outside's going to be white. The inside will be a wood color, because I figured that's how I do my interiors. How to do that nice and easily. And then also some pieces like this exterior is all white, but the reverse of this is also going to be white, but the reverse of this is going to be brown. So what am I going to do? So the answer was blue painter's tape. And I checked with the org to make sure it wouldn't damage the MDF HDF, because I wasn't sure if that would destroy it or what it would do. And I thought if I could use this, I could go ahead. Well, it's cutting through my glasses. That's weird. Ooh, magic. That I could use this and I could basically seal off stuff, and then I could paint with spray and kind of get at it. And I want to show you my results. Not perfect. The line's pretty good. You can see there's a little bleed through, but that's okay. So I was able to do this all brown. This will be white. Again, here. Same thing. And then I even did it on the floor. And this one was a little messier. But all this stuff here is going to be brick. It's brick, so it's going to be red. You can see there's a little messiness, which is okay. I'll just say maybe the floor, I don't know, was messed up or something. So what I'll do now, like what this is, I'll tape off the part closest to it with the blue painter's tape. And then the rest, I'll put like a piece of paper down or something. And then for these, same thing. I'll use blue painter's tape right here along the seam and cover the rest with, I don't know, paper or something. I don't want to use blue painter's tape on everything. So that way I'll paint this. I'm actually not going to paint this white. I'm going to do this gray. Then I'm going to do white over it because I think that'll give me a better finish than doing the white just over the wood. So I'll do that, and then I can do the outsides all white. Can't do this now because it's going to be rain. Although it's sunny out. I look at my windows, it's sunny now, which is weird. But it's going to be rainy and everything today. And then for like these, it's really cool. So that the inside of the door, wood, and the outside will be white. So it just kind of works nice down the middle with that. And let's go back for a moment. But the MacBook Pro, Philip says I have a 13-inch model. Is it the 2020 13-inch? Because I ordered mine on as soon as it came out, and it's just coming now. Or do you have the previous one? And Philip says, nice keyboard, and the mini screen above the keyboard is great. Awesome. So maybe that is a brand new one. And then just to move on with the Gettysburg thing, I want to give a word of warning, which should be fixed. I believe York said he was fixing it for the instructions. But when you assemble the chimney, you assemble this base plate first and do it as a separate thing. And then later on, you do this part up here. Now, when you do this in the instructions, and you'll notice, and actually I'll show you down here, you'll notice, see these openings? There should be pegs that go into each of them. So in the instructions, actually, there should be a peg for this front piece, it shows you, and a peg for this side piece. But if you do that, this will not go in. The piece, the little thin piece with the peg should be on the right, not the left. And so I told Jorg about it and worked with him, and I hated to tell him that something about it was wrong because I don't like that, but I like him enough. I like him a lot that I want to make sure he got things right. And so he fixed it or is fixing it in the instructions. But what I had to do, I tried to take this apart and it was going to break the whole thing. So I cut off the peg and I glued it. So mine's a little wonky, but it'll be fine. This will be red. And that was some progress I made with that. And finally, I want to show you a cool vendor who I think they're vending. I'm not 100% positive. I have to look, but I think they're vending at the convention tomorrow. And even if they're not, you should check them out anyway. They're going to be someone I'm talking to tomorrow at 4 o'clock, I think it is. 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow. And Jorg says instruction has been corrected. Yay! Jorg is so responsive and patient and kind. And this is one of the main reasons why I love shopping with Jorg. Although I didn't pay for this, but I would have completely paid for it. I can't wait to back the Kickstarter, though. I'm really looking forward to seeing everything in that. So the vendor I want to share with you is really neat because they offer some cool stuff. And they are called the Fabric Treasury. And they make awesome stuff, as you might guess, out of fabric. So let's click on shop if I can speak correctly. And they make some really cool things. So they have some nice vinyl decals here. Look at this. Only $5. You can get a cool enamel pin, Dragon Slayer pin. That's awesome. And that skull almost looks like a Cubone skull, almost, for anyone who plays Pokemon. And then they make these awesome dice bags. So this one here on the right is called the Nature Domain dice bag. Shows it open, and when you close it with the pole, it's $20. There's a timeout one, which I think is awesome. Borderlands inspired one is $30. Unfortunately, that sold out. Raven's Night is another one. And they just have tons of these. This one right here on the left is really pretty. Lavender Succulent dice bag. I like that one a lot. A superhero one. It has designs on it, but they're not using any trademark names. Deep Space. This could be awesome for X-Wing maybe, or Armada, or Legion if you were into that. Oh, this one's really pretty too. The dark pink floral one. I like that a lot. Blue scales. Maybe great for dragons. Items of Fate and Destiny. Oh, look, a sushi one. That's awesome. Rainbow. Could be Rainbow Pride if you're into that. Hey, why not? Or you just like rainbow colors. And a fire and ice one. That's cool. I like how on the inside it's all red and fiery and the outside is different. And then this one, Star Robots. It just happens to be robots saying beep boop in outer space. I love that one. It's only $20. And then they do custom orders. So if you have a special design that you want done or anything, you can just click on Let's Make It Happen. And then they have this form that you fill out. So you tell them what you want. Do you want a dice tray, a dice set, where you get coordinating dice and a bag? Do you want a dice bag, something else? Fill out with your name, your email, and what you want. And then they show down here some of the special custom stuff that they've done. So this one on the right would be great if you're a Space Orc player. Look, someone likes flamingos. Are those llamas maybe, or alpacas? Someone's into Batman. And I think this is really awesome. So this could be a really cool gift idea. If you want to get something cool for someone or for yourself, I say, why the heck not? And it's gorgeous. And they do a lot of great stuff here for helping out the community and helping out people and giving back. And so I'm going to be speaking with the owner tomorrow, but I wanted to just share them because they are just awesome. And they're on Instagram and they're on Facebook and they have the shop and you can contact them. And they don't have anything right now under schedule, but they do go to conventions. So they will update this at some point to say when they are at conventions and show it on the calendar. But like they say at the top, they're going to be at Let's Roll. So that is really cool. And that is that. I don't think I have anything else to share for right today because I'm going to have to keep stuff for tomorrow. And that's what we do as a content creator. We, you might not know that, but we stretch things out. So that's why I like this joke for people who are YouTubers. And I guess we are now too, I guess, kind of. But like a YouTuber might take like getting a fancy honeydew beverage and turn it into like an 8-part series where like they take all this like B-roll footage of like the beverage before and after and their thoughts and they're making funny faces and like and doing all sorts of stuff to get those thumbnails and everything. And then like that might be in the intersperse and then just actually going and ordering your beverage at a coffee shop turns into like 5 or 6 videos where each one's like 5 minutes or 8 minutes long. And they do that because it gets more content out. So they can fill stuff out. It gets more views from people and more interaction. And then YouTube sees that and likes it and then gives them more money is what it is. We don't get money from YouTube, which is why we don't do that. But we do like to make sure we have enough content for all the times that we're doing stuff. So there you have it. Whew, that was a lot. And otherwise, please check in tomorrow. Let'sRollCon.com. Let me run some banners for all of you here. So go to Let'sRollCon.com. If you've not yet registered for games, do so. Go to Let'sRollCon.com. I showed you all how to do it. Sign up for games. You saw a lot of games are sold out or running out of space. Some had been canceled because of lack of player registration. And don't forget, I'm also playing in Cube of Death tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sign up, and I can tell you, because I think I'm allowed to tell you, and if not, he can yell at me, and that's okay. Jamie, who is our show notes scribe, he's also playing in it. So he'll be playing in it. It'll be like 2 a.m. where he's at tomorrow, but he'll be playing Cube of Death as well, and I'll be in it. And I believe David Benavides is in it, who's a great guy. I love David. And it's being run by Mike Kafis, who I also love, and just wonderful people. So you guys should check that out. That's an 8 p.m. time slot. And it'll just be kind of fun to hang out and play some Cube of Death and relax and do cool stuff. And it's awesome. And Jamie says right here, I hope to pop in through the day tomorrow. The terrain talks with Petra sound interesting. Can't wait to play Cube of Death tomorrow night. I can't wait as well. I'm so excited. It's going to be fantastic. And just all sorts of really cool stuff. And lots of really cool events. So like I said, tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., I'll be doing another pandemic coffee break in which I basically just kind of talk about what stuff's coming up or any last minute changes and things for the convention and lay out what's happening tomorrow for the con. And if you follow us here at Wargaming Recon on any of our social media, but in particular, our Wargaming Recon Facebook page. I apologize in advance. It's going to be all Let's Roll all day, where we're going to have videos coming out basically every hour on the hour, and then there'll be content and stuff as well. So it's going to be really pretty amazing. And thank you, Dale. Yeah, that big news. I'm so excited about it. It is huge. It is really life-changing. So thank you for the congratulations. And maybe I will leave my job. I've always said I wouldn't, but maybe I will. I mean, it gives me the freedom to do this all the time, right? Imagine where I did like 8 to 12 hours of this, right? Where I was just here with all of you every day. Would you like that? Would that be awesome? Where I was just like here all the time. I could do it. So thank you for the congratulations, Dale. And that's just why, you can't miss these big news when I have them here on any of these live streams, because you'd be like, what? And then I guess you got to go back and watch it afterwards, which is just kind of crazy. But I suppose you do what you got to do. Well, you know the drill, okay? But we're going to do it anyway because it's expected. It's tradition right now. I've been doing this for like 4 months. Oh, it feels like 4 months. I've been doing it for like 2.5 months now. God, it's gonna be almost 4 months when I actually go back to work. Geez, that's awful. Yeah, that's just bad. My goodness. Do not trust Karen on Facebook. I can't say that enough. Let me get closer. Right? Do not trust Karen on Facebook. She lies. Karen is wrong about everything and anything. Do not listen to her. I don't care how much she wants to speak to your manager. Tell her no. No, Karen, you cannot speak to my manager. I want to speak to your manager. Listen to the professionals in life. Doctors, scientists, medical professionals, when it comes to the pandemic or anything health and medical related, science related, anything else, go to the people who know what they're talking about. And if you don't know the answer, find out, right? Verify your sources and information. Just get what you need to know from the people who really do know, and not from Karen on Facebook because she's wrong. So bye, Felicia. That's enough, Karen. Or as Dr. will say, he would just say, shh, shh, Karen, shh, Karen, shh, shh. That's an old reference, but our audience skews older, so I'm sure people understand it anyway. Otherwise, thank you everyone, really honestly, for being here both today and all the days. And thank you again for being understanding about me skipping out on the coffee break on, was it Wednesday? I needed that mental health day. And so it made a difference for me. So thank you very much. Please be kind to yourself and to others. And if good enough is good, we're doing what we can. It's not perfect. We can always do better, but we can also do a lot worse, can't we? So just be a little generous to ourselves and a little more understanding. As my therapist says, lower those expectations, which sounds really weird. I have a hard time with that. But just realize perfect isn't going to happen right now. That's okay. So what we have is okay. We'll get through this. I promise you we will. Let's be together, support one another, our community, and those around us. And until next time, remember, no matter how busy you are, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how much time you're thinking, wow, I really wish there was a Honeydew near me, and I really wish Honeydew would sponsor Wargaming Recon. You know that you need to, you have to keep on gaming. Thanks, everyone. Be well.